Nostradamus was afraid of these zodiac signs. They have powerful energy. Why did the great prophet Nostradamus, who knew the course of the future for centuries to come, avoid naming some zodiac signs out loud? Why are there only symbols, encrypted phrases, and disturbing hints in his notes about them? The answer is simple. The energy of these people is capable of changing reality. These are those who do not obey the laws of the weak. They do not come to ask. They take. And even time passes them by. Today you will find out which signs have such a powerful inner force that even those who were not afraid of the end of the world were afraid of them. These individuals carry not only magnetism, but also a destructive force capable of revealing the truth, breaking illusions, and awakening ancient codes of power. If you want to know if your sign is on this list, watch carefully. Subscribe to the channel if you feel that you also have a power that cannot be explained by logic. And write in the comments which sign, in your opinion, has the most destructive energy. Now we will open the curtain on those whose energy scares even prophets. The first sign is Sagittarius. At first glance, you can't read danger in Sagittarius. But this is what makes his energy truly powerful. He doesn't raise his voice, doesn't brandish threats, doesn't flaunt his strength. However, as soon as he appears, the space changes. His internal energy is not pressure, but an impulse that penetrates the consciousness of others, causes trepidation, makes them wary. In a crowd, he may be outwardly calm, but those who have at least minimal sensitivity immediately catch. This person is able to change the course of events with one decision. Sagittarius's energy is fiery, penetrating, and does not tolerate boundaries. He does not accept external restrictions, and his own will is capable of destroying any artificial barriers. He does not conflict. He burns. His words, even thrown casually, can reveal the essence, destroy the illusion, touch a raw nerve. And if he sets a goal, it will be achieved, because his energy knows no fatigue. In moments of concentration, Sagittarius turns into an energetic battering ram, sweeping away everything that gets in the way. He is not afraid of power, is not inclined to obey authorities, and does not need support. His strength is in absolute autonomy. He does not ask. He moves forward. And if someone gets in the way, Sagittarius does not warn. He simply continues to move, because his internal program does not allow stops. He feels the scale, and everything that limits the scale, he intuitively pushes out of his reality. Energetically, Sagittarius is dangerous precisely because he is always one step ahead. He does not reveal plans, does not share weaknesses, does not talk about fears. He acts. And this active, hidden inner power makes him unpredictable. It is impossible to manipulate him. He leaves before they begin. You can't impose rules on him. He creates the system himself. It is impossible to lock him into a framework. He will destroy them with one look. Not aggressively, not loudly, simply with willpower, backed by boundless energy. These are the qualities that frighten those who seek control. Astrologers of the past, observing Sagittarius, understood that you can't play with this sign. It does not forgive attempts at pressure. It does not give in to persuasion. It acts based on inner knowledge and an inexplicable sense of time. And its decisions are always a step towards the point where energy unfolds to the maximum. It is for this reason that Nostradamus, who studied not only destinies, but also the energy traces of individuals, wrote Sagittarius down among those who do not give in to systems. The second sign is Capricorn. Capricorn's energy is frightening not with its brightness, but with its depth. It is not a flame that blinds. but the pressure of underground magma, accumulating strength over decades. People sensitive to subtle fields feel like they are under pressure next to Capricorns. Not because Capricorn does something intentionally, but because his very presence causes tension. He does not tolerate weakness, does not accept chaos, does not waste time on emotions. His energy is a rock that people lean on, but if you try to move it, the cracks will not appear in it, but in the one who tried. Capricorn controls his field without fuss. He does not splash out his strength. He collects, accumulates, and releases energy pointwise, where needed, when necessary. His silence speaks louder than words. His pause in conversation creates pressure. His gaze reveals other people's shortcomings. He does not conflict. He records, draws a conclusion, and changes the course of events without asking permission. Capricorn lives by his own rules, and this makes him dangerous for those who hope to impose someone else's on him. He is the embodiment of structured energy, concentrated power, and inner law. His strength is that he is incorruptible. He is not affected by tricks. He does not succumb to flattery. He does not lose his head from emotions. His coldness is not the absence of feelings, but the protection of the center of power. There is no anxiety in him, and therefore his decisions are accurate, and his impact on others is profound, even if they don't understand what exactly happened. He is able to reverse the outcome of a conversation, negotiations, even a war, silently, with one action. Nostradamus knew that it is precisely such people, hidden, focused, impenetrable, who are the real danger to systems. Not those who shout, but those who act quietly, but irrevocably. Capricorn's energy works according to laws that are higher than human emotions. That is why he inspires fear, not external but internal, subconscious. People feel it will not be possible to be weak next to him, and if you are weak, he will simply squeeze you out, without a fight, without pity, and without interest. The third sign is Aries. The power of Aries is in the moment. He does not think, does not weigh, does not postpone. He feels the impulse and immediately throws his energy at the target. This is what makes him dangerous. He is unpredictable because he moves faster than others have time to make a plan. His energy hits you head on. It is a wave that overwhelms. And if you are not ready, it destroys. Without malicious intent, simply because the power exceeds all acceptable norms. Aries enters any space with such intensity that even the strong feel the vibration. He does not tolerate slowness, falsehood, games. He acts. And his actions are pure, unprocessed energy that knows no compromise. If he needs it, he will take it. If someone gets in the way, he will erase it. Not because he wants to harm, but because he does not know how to do otherwise. His fire requires movement, and everything that does not move is an obstacle for him. It is impossible to control Aries. He cannot stand pressure, control, and restrictions. His energy breaks chains, destroys barriers, destroys patterns. He can be inconvenient, abrupt, even rude. But behind this is real power, before which they retreat. He does not need support. He has enough of an internal flame that burns constantly and does not depend on anyone. This flame is visible, felt, frightening, even the most confident. Nostradamus noted that it is Aries who are capable of igniting processes that then get out of control. Their presence in any system makes it unstable, because Aries does not know how to adapt. He acts instinctively, but it is in this instinct that there is a force capable of turning the foundations upside down. And those who tried to keep Aries within the framework always lost. Because he does not consciously destroy, he simply moves forward, not noticing those who do not keep up. His energy is an explosion, an impulse of fire. It does not allow passive people to be around, does not allow slowing down, does not tolerate lies. Aries provokes growth, but this growth is through crisis. Its energy requires a reaction, and if it is not given, it begins to destroy. That is why even those who are physically stronger or higher in status, deep down, are wary of representatives of this sign, because they feel you can't play with them. They don't play. They live in a mode of constant movement, and this makes them dangerous. The fourth sign is Virgo. When Nostradamus studied the behavior of those who possess extraordinary inner strength, he repeatedly returned to the image of a person born under this sign. Virgo is not a mystic or a magician, but this is precisely where her danger lies. She is capable of destroying the system without raising her voice. She can change the course of events without even declaring herself. Strategist, analyst, observer. But behind this is hidden energy that is capable of suppressing and subjugating. The energy of Virgo is structured. It is not chaotic or spontaneous, but verified to the last move. This is why her influence is so destructive for those who build an illusion. Virgo sees lies, senses falsehood, senses manipulation in seconds. People get lost in her presence, lose their train of thought, begin to justify themselves, even if no one accused them. This is not magic. It is the pure power of intellect and concentration, reinforced by absolute confidence in the rightness. She acts without noise. In her hands are documents, formulas, facts. Where others juggle emotions, Virgo uses dry truth as a weapon. And this is what frightened those who relied on demagogy, including those who considered themselves prophets. She has no desire to rule, but there is a need to correct. This makes her dangerous for systems built on deception. In her presence, masks collapse, weaknesses are revealed, the essence is exposed. Virgo senses weak points in people and structures. She does not just notice, she analyzes, processes, finds a point. When pressed, everything falls apart. This is not intuition. This is a thinking algorithm taken to the limit. She does not use spells, does not conduct rituals, but transformation occurs next to her. The reason is simple. Her energy is aimed at purification, eliminating the unnecessary and ineffective. She will not forgive chaos. In the space where Virgo appears, order is established, and those who fed on chaos begin to suffer. People with shady intentions lose their footing when confronted with her composure. She does not play at strength, she is strength. Without an aura of grandeur, without pathos and arrogance. In the silence of her words, a sentence. In restraint, a threat. And in this silent precision lies the energy that even Nostradamus could not explain. He was not afraid of charms. He was afraid of the mind armed with inner calm. He was afraid of those who could see through the layers without possessing the gift of clairvoyance. Virgo is not a seer, but she knows. Her strength is not in inspiration, but in proof. Her energy is in the purity of action. It is impossible to negotiate with her through illusion. She demands truth, and this is what makes her inconvenient, unpredictable, and strong. She cannot be broken, only accepted or avoided. But even avoiding You find yourself in the field of her influence. It is impossible to hide from Virgo if she has directed her attention to you. Her strength is not in volume, but in precision. She does not frighten with a scream, but crushes with an argument. Her energy is like a surgical scalpel, subtle, sharp, and inexorable. This is a sign whose power is feared not because of myths, but because of facts. This is why Nostradamus did not prophesy to Virgos. He understood that they themselves write their path. The fifth sign of Pisces. It is amazing how external softness can hide internal power. Pisces is a sign whose energy does not boil on the outside, but works from the inside, forcing events to unfold as they need. When Nostradamus came into contact with images of the future, it was Pisces that knocked him off balance. Not because of hostility, but because of unpredictability combined with depth. He understood. No one knows what Pisces are capable of, including Pisces themselves. The energy of this sign lives on the edge. It absorbs other people's moods, thoughts, states, but at the same time knows how to transform them into something of its own. Pisces do not reflect, they transform. This is their strength. They are the only ones who are able to enter the mind of another person, not invading, but merging. They cannot be detected, but their presence changes the emotional climate. A person feels anxiety, joy, or confusion, without understanding where it comes from. In the energy field of Pisces, weak people open up like wounds in the rain. Even if Pisces are silent, their gaze penetrates deeply. This is not a hypnotic gaze, but a naked gaze. They do not suggest, they simply exist nearby, and this is enough to change the course of conversations, decisions, and plans. Their strength is that they can be unnoticeable, but still influence. Pisces do not arrange battles, they do not confront head-on. Their weapon is fluidity, and in this fluidity is hidden the mechanism of influence. They bypass resistance, dissolving it. They do not break down walls, but make it so that walls and chippers are no longer needed. It is impossible to use force against them. They do not enter into a fight. They disappear and then return where no one expected. Their energy is like water, unnoticeable, but capable of eroding a rock. Nostradamus did not like uncertainty. He looked for laws, structures, patterns. Pisces destroyed all his calculations. He saw that this sign does not follow logic, but achieves its goal. He was afraid that predicting the actions of Pisces would mean making a mistake. Because Pisces do not act, they live, and their lives are filled with impulses that can change everything around them. They do not plan their influence, but they still influence. Pisces sense the moment. They know when to be silent, when to leave, when to say one word that will destroy someone else's confidence. They are not trained to do this, it is part of their nature, and this is their whole strength. They do not awaken fear, they awaken uncertainty in others. Those who encounter Pisces begin to doubt themselves, even if they were previously convinced of their rightness. Because the energy of Pisces asks questions that have no answers. This is not magic or psychology. This is a natural ability to be so sensitive that it becomes dangerous. This is the reason why Nostradamus was afraid of Pisces. He could not see their path, not because it was hidden, but because it was not direct. Pisces creates a reality in which the prophet himself loses his bearings. That is why this sign stands apart, quietly, deeply, with a force that can neither be explained nor defeated.